frugal shopper, but you're also looking for some super easy meals, I have some amazing recipes for you today. Welcome to Meals with Maria. Today I am making meals that are easy and frugal from this fabulous little cookbook. This cookbook is a plethora of knowledge. It actually has a ton of grocery shopping tips. It has different separations of types of food. I chose 3 recipes that I knew my family would love that were super inexpensive, and I decided to make them for you today. If you also want to get your hands on a copy of this, I'll make sure to put a link to it down in the description box for you. It is full of so many more delicious recipes that are, yes, that's right, easy and frugal. So I'm gonna thank our cookbook author, Sarah Walker Karen. Super helpful, amazing book that can be found on Amazon, and it's full of knowledge. It has things like little dollar signs to show which things are more or less expensive in the book. And then it has budget tricks. It says, pay attention to per pound prices when you're buying chicken. Sometimes there can be substantial savings when you buy bulk packs and freeze the excess for later. So true, but there's these little budget tricks all over this. So this is, like I said, so much goodness in this one little book. I do want to take a minute to talk about something else that is easy and frugal. You've heard me talk about it before. I want to thank Temu for sponsoring this video today. Temu is an online marketplace that offers competitively priced products. They're super high quality and they have tons of options. You can get kitchen items, which I've purchased many of, home decor, clothing, things for your bathroom, gifts, pet supplies, and more. Basically, there is always something on sale at Temu, and I love a sale. They're offering savings up to 90% off. They offer free shipping and free returns up to 90 days, and they accept all major credit cards, debit cards, and pay later programs. Temu is seriously a bargain. I always get my things when I order them about a week later, so they come in really quickly and they are super responsive. They give you text alerts when your stuff's gonna come in. I'm gonna share some of the things I got in my most recent Temu order, and you can actually shop these items down below in the description box. And if you do and use my code, you're gonna get up to 30% off on these items. These are exclusive discounts for you using my code. So a couple things I recently got from Temu for the bathroom are this cute little dispenser here and this little cup, and these were insanely cheap. This comes in like a little pack of 4, so you can use these for whatever you want. So amazing, super cute for your bathroom. So this is a new little lunch box that I just got from Temu, and I am so impressed with the quality on this thing. It's thick, it's gonna keep my stuff nice and cold, and it's perfect that it just came in because we were just about to go on a little play date to the playground. And I find that I can save a lot of money by packing our lunches, which is, this feels like a no-brainer to me, versus like buying a sub or ordering out, but I need a place to put those lunches. So this is something that, you know, you invest in now, which is also super inexpensive for what you're getting. And we're gonna be able to use it time after time to save money over time. Temu has this, like, it's like a couch cover blanket, and it's super soft. I absolutely, like, the kids are obsessed with how soft this is. But what happened was, this is their couch, right? Look at that. Destroyed. Like, it was so bad. So I was able to get this couch cover from Temu, and now if I get something on it, I can actually just wash it right off in the washing machine. And like, this is the room, so it's not, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do like that there's something new on there, and that it's soft and cozy, and I can just wash it and pull it off when I need to. And it's like 10 times cheaper than buying a new couch. I mean, 100 times cheaper than buying a new couch. I was also able to get these beautiful vases, so inexpensive for such a nice piece of art like this. And then also these beads, and these come in like multiple size packages, so you can get a bunch of them. They are cheaper than where I've seen them anywhere. And then you can kind of put them around your house for decor. There's something I've always wanted, but it's always been kind of, I don't know, too expensive for me to get, but I was so happy to find these on Temu. So don't forget to shop the items that I just showed you down below in the description box and use my code to expect 30% off. And if you're just shopping on Temu in general, you can expect up to 90% off. So for this one, we're making crispy coconut drumsticks. So here is our recipe from our easy and frugal cookbook. And I'm always looking for different drumstick recipes because they are the most inexpensive cut of chicken. And I find that I can find them on sale for less than $1 a pound. And it's like, what are you gonna do with them? You can only eat barbecue chicken so many times. I also love that this one is very simple, so you likely have everything on hand. I usually keep coconut on hand I did use an unsweetened coconut and it's still fine. So, you know, whatever you have, I think it's gonna be great. So you wanna get started with a 9x13 pan and spray that down. And then we're gonna do 1 bowl with 1 egg, about a tablespoon of milk and a little bit of salt. And then another bowl where we're gonna make our kind of like dredge or whatever. We're gonna do 1/3 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs, or I actually just had like Italian breadcrumbs. And I think that's gonna be fine too. So whatever you have on hand, like just want something crunchy, right? You can make your own if you have some stale bread, that would be fine too. And then 1/3 a cup of shredded coconut. I used unsweetened, the recipe says sweetened, whatever you have, I think it's gonna be great, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. So you just wanna dredge your drumsticks right into the egg mixture and then into the dry mixture and then put them in your 9x13. And that's it, it's super simple. Just a few ingredients, and these are gonna taste magnificent. It's gonna be something different, and they're relatively healthy, like compared to like a fried chicken or something like that, but you're gonna get that nice crispy crust. You wanna preheat your oven to 425 degrees, and then we're gonna bake this for 40 to 50 minutes, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. The actual prep time is like next to nothing, just less than 10 minutes. It's just gonna take a little bit of time in the oven because these are bone in, and you wanna make sure that they're fully cooked through. Timer just went off and we're going in. Oh boy. Woo! Okay, those look crispy for sure. Wow. Yum. Now don't mind the dark parts, it just depends on your drumsticks. Sometimes like the out of the bone, I think it's like bone marrow basically, but it's totally fine, healthy. You can just scrape it off. I am just gonna test these and make sure that they're fully cooked, but I am gonna assume after a strong 40 minutes in the oven that they should be great. And we're gonna enjoy this lunch quite a bit. So when I cut this, it's cooked perfectly, but I also noticed like how crispy it is. I almost want to do like, what's it, like the TikTok thing where they're like, you know, you scrape it. Oh yeah, crispy, right? I don't know, I don't want to like get the stuff off the sides, but yeah, it's gonna be good. So here's my lunch. It's not super fancy, but I know it's delicious. Got salad, chicken. What more can you ask for? And it's super, super budget friendly. I mean, I just bought this lettuce. I had some tomatoes, whatever. Throw it together. You know, throw together whatever vegetables you have in your fridge. And then drumsticks, super inexpensive. Again, use what you have at your cabinets. You're gonna love it, and it's gonna be something different.
8 out of 9.
Really? So from our lovely cookbook, we're making slow cooker chicken tortilla soup with lime and avocado. Now this is one of those ones that has like more dollar signs, but really, I'm not exactly sure why, maybe because it just has a few more ingredients, but it's still gonna be pretty low cost here. So we're gonna start by dicing up 1 onion and mincing 3 cloves of garlic. So I'm still not exactly sure why this is like 3. Maybe it's because of the chicken. But an amazing thing about a soup like this is you can actually use canned chicken in it for, you know, you have that already in your cabinet, and it's not gonna be a problem. You can just add it kind of at the end. I'm just putting, I got my chicken on sale. You can see it has a $1 off thing in here. I defrosted it. And we're just gonna add these to the bottom. We're gonna shred these up at the end. Or you could even make this vegetarian by just adding extra beans. So it's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna add in our onion and garlic. These are also very inexpensive ingredients, and if you wanted to, you could use about a tablespoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. You need 4 cups of stock, or you could use chicken bouillon or chicken bone broth. This is bone broth. I mean, if you ever make a chicken with the bone in and then you take it off the bone, you can always make your own bone broth out of that or your own stock. And the cookbook actually has its own slow cooker chicken stock recipe. It says page 136, so you would be all set to make that yourself out of the cookbook. You need 1 can of canned diced tomatoes. Those are also something great that if you are somebody who grows your own tomatoes in the summer, you probably can things like this. So far, I mean, it's you may have this on hand. You also want diced, I read that wrong. I said diced green chilies. You actually want a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, so like a rotel. But instead, because I already opened this, we're gonna use these green chilies, and then I'm gonna add another can of tomatoes. It says a 10-ounce can. This is a 14.5, but I'm not too worried about it. It's a soup, so it's gonna be forgiving. And then I have 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans. And this is where I'm saying that if you wanted to, you could go in with another can of beans. You could probably add a can of corn here to kind of bulk it up. And this is it to get started. So if you wanna go without the fresh chicken, go ahead and do that. We'll get this kind of all melded and cooked together. The main thing here is you're gonna get your onions cooked. You could do this really fast on the stove too, so it's another option. This is also gonna be a great anytime slow cooker meal. So I know some slow cooker meals are like more hearty and you may only wanna eat them in the winter time. Currently it's the spring, but it's a rainy day here. Any rainy day, any time of year, this type of soup is gonna be perfect. And in the winter, rainy or not, it's gonna do the trick for you. So we're gonna cook this on low for 8 to 10 hours, depending on your crock pot. Mine cooks super fast. I know this chicken is gonna cook in about 4. So I'm actually probably, it's a little bit later in the day. So I'm gonna put mine on high for a couple hours and I might turn it down to low a little later to get it cooked through right around dinner time. So this has been going for about 4.5 hours and I had it for 2 hours on high and then I just turned it down to low. The key is that your chicken is fully cooked and can shred up, which ours is, so this is perfect. And the onions look pretty well cooked too. And there's a lot of nice colors in this, so I'm excited to try it. When I came back into the house, it smelled amazing, so it's gonna be good. All right, so you can see I shredded up all the chicken. I just used a couple forks for that. We're also gonna add in a cup of fresh cilantro. You could always use dried if that's what you have, but fresh cilantro is super inexpensive. It's usually like 99 cents and it can add a ton of flavor to your food. So I definitely recommend buying some almost every week as long as you're gonna have something that's, you know, of the, I guess, Mexican flavors. And then these are the tortilla strips I have. It says corn tortilla, but as we do, we're gonna use what we have and I just don't have corn tortillas on hand. It was kind of an oversight. So we're gonna use flour. These are whole wheat flour tortillas and I think it's still gonna be pretty good. And then for more flavor, we're gonna do the juice of 1.5 limes. I love that we're using a lot of very inexpensive ingredients to get a lot of flavor in this soup. One other thing that the recipe says to do is to add 1 diced up avocado. I personally do not like warm avocado, so I'm not going to do this. If you like warm avocado, go ahead and put in an avocado. You can actually, you may think avocado is an expensive item, but I usually find them at Aldi for maybe like 59, 69 cents, so less than $1. And they're a great food to have. So if I were you, I would say go with the avocado if you want to, but if you don't want to, then don't do it because it's just not your thing. I think that's fine. This is ending up being super hearty though. You can take a look. I'm excited. So you can do an extra squeeze of lime. We're serving ours with cilantro, sour cream, hot sauce.
Daddy did.
It's gonna be amazing. Look at all those colors. 10 out of 10? 5 out of 5.
I give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. And you can tell that I gave it a 5 out of 5. So much flavor in the soup, so delicious. So this recipe is for a slow cooker cilantro lime pork carnitas taco. And I love this because I often find pork butts on sale. In fact, I was able to grab this one on Manager Special. Tacos are just like the ultimate budget food, right? And corn tortillas, which is gonna go with these, or whatever type of tortilla you wanna use, are super inexpensive. And I feel like once I buy a pack, I can never go through like all of them, which is why I love to find additional new kind of taco recipes so that I can continue to use them without them going bad. I tend to keep mine in the refrigerator and I feel like they last a lot longer that way. So to make this, we're just gonna dice up an onion and we're gonna crush 2 cloves of garlic. So this is one of those ones that you do wanna get started early because it's gonna take 10 hours in your slow cooker on low, and you really wanna let this cook like low and slow. It's what it's designed for when you cook something like this. So I always hate kind of taking the meat out of the package, then you touch the meat and then you need to touch your spices, and I'm like, ugh. So maybe I should have got my spices ready somewhere else beforehand, I don't know. I'm just gonna give this a good sprinkle and we'll kind of take the stuff from the sides and get it on all sides of it. You want about a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of ground cumin, but we're eyeballing it, and a liberal amount of salt and pepper. I like how this is looking. That is nice and covered. And now we'll get our hands dirty again. But I'm just gonna kind of cover it in everything that kind of went down here. Get that on the other side. This one happens to be boneless, and the recipe does not make it clear whether you need bone in or boneless. I've done bone in for 10 hours and it's cooked marvelously, so I'm not worried about it if you do have a bone in one. They tend to be cheaper. The boneless one, I'm actually gonna have to probably check it because I'm a little worried it's actually gonna cook a little faster. And we're just gonna nestle our onions in right around our pork roast or pork butt and our crushed garlic as well. I don't know if that's technically crushed. Crushed, smashed. I hope it's okay. All right, we'll cook on low for 10 hours.
Mario.
So this has been about 7 in my crock pot and it's definitely done. You can see it's just falling apart. This looks delicious. I'm very excited about it. So I'm gonna shred this up, but I kind of just, to make things easier, I'm just gonna put the juice of 1 lime in here, and then about 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro. And that way, instead of having to mix it after, I can just kind of mix it while I shred it. But this is just coming right apart, which means it's cooked perfectly. If you wanted to, you could probably drain off some of the fat if you don't like that, but I mean, I think that's all about the juices of this, so that's kind of what makes it delicious. Up to you though. So I'm actually gonna bring this to a friend's house. This pork is absolutely delicious, and this is the perfect thing to actually bring to like a potluck or something like that if you wanted to do that. We got a last minute invite, so I was like, perfect, I have tacos that I can bring over. I'm gonna bring over my corn tortillas. I'm gonna bring a setup. I'm gonna bring sour cream, salsa, some cilantro to put over the top, cheese if people want it, some fresh avocado, you know, whatever people want to do, and that way you can do a make your own taco bar, and I think everyone's gonna love it. So I feel terrible. I had totally meant to just get all that footage on camera of the taco bar and what everything looked like, and unfortunately you're just gonna have to imagine it because I just did not get that footage. But I do have this cute little picture of the boys playing video games that night. Everyone had a great time and they really enjoyed the tacos. My friend even made some hash the next morning out of that leftover pulled pork because there was so much. It fed a crowd and more. I want to thank you so much for watching today. I hope you got some great, easy, and frugal inspiration. If you're looking for more, go ahead and click on this next video and make sure the next time you're on YouTube, you're watching Meals with Maria.
And remember, next time on YouTube, to watch Meals with Maria.